Hello people, it is I, 3Godzilla 3, the Master of Sonic, here after 2 whole years since we last played this game, and we're going to continue it. We're going to do it with excellence. I apologize for the long wait, a very long wait, but we're in it, we're back, and now we're recording footage. It's going to be good. So since our last visit, we did Dry Canyon and Cliff Town. Now we're doing Ice Cavern, one of my favorite levels in the game. And this is still all pre-recorded. I know you guys, most of you guys, voted for the live recordings for me to play the game and commentate at the same time. I'll be honest, guys, I tried doing that and it was very difficult. It was very hard to focus, you know.
A word of caution, little one. Wait until you grow big, like me, before charging those large enemies.
Yeah, so I tried doing a recording where I was playing the game and I was talking at the same time, and for the most part it went kinda good. There were a few points though where I just couldn't think of things to say, and to be honest, it wasn't done with excellence and it didn't come out as good as I would have hoped. So I can only hope that you guys can understand that it's just way better for me to pre-record games and commentate over them. So that's where we are now. This is all pre-recorded, no live gameplay. I think I might save that for like future LPs where I'll be doing like RPGs and stuff. I think those are more suited for live recordings and stuff like that. So if I ever play a Pokemon game in the future or Final Fantasy or things like that, I may do live streams where I play the game and talk at the same time, but for now we'll just leave everything pre-recorded so that I'm not losing my head, basically. Before I speak about anything else, here's a dragon.
Thank you for releasing me.
So Ice Cavern's a unique level in that there is at least 3 different multiple pathways that you can take from the beginning, middle, and end of the stage. But what's also awesome is that no matter what path you end up taking, you end up in the same place pretty much. So there's multiple ways that you can do this level. The way I'm showing right now is probably the fastest that you can do it. For example, this path that I'm in right now is the path that will let me go back to where that treasure chest was at the beginning of the level, and the only way to get that chest is to glide to another platform, which is basically out of the reach from where you're at, and go backwards. So instead of just going to the pathway that was on the left, which is this pathway right here that I'm going back up, I went the other way.
Psst. Spyro! Some big Norks up ahead are wearing armor, and in the ice cave, armor can make their feet very slippery.
I don't think that cutscene will ever get old. He said, It's like, what a trooper. But anyway, so yeah, this entire pathway that I'm going through right now, I technically could have done earlier, but to save backtracking, essentially, what I did was I just got the key, and I went my way back up this pathway through a different route. So that way, I could end up back here and use the key to open this chest. Ice Cavern has at least 2 different scenarios where you can do that just to save time, because like I said, I got that chest there because I went to get the key first. It's just a lot easier. These enemies have snowballs that don't hurt you if you're charging anyway. If you're not charging, then they'll do 1 hit point of damage and stuff, but if you're always charging, those snowballs will never hurt you, like so. Very easy. Honestly, the enemies in this game aren't very hard at all. They don't start getting difficult until, like, I want to say maybe the 4th homeworld. That's when they really start throwing things at you in terms of enemies. They introduced a new enemy type in this level, which is those big Norks that have the metal armor stuff. As that dragon said, all you gotta do is just ram into them and just push them off. Some require 1 hit, some require 2. That one in particular required 2, but it's very easy, not too hard at all. I do like that they start introducing more enemy types as the game progresses. That's why I like this game a lot, in comparison to like the 2nd and 3rd games. The 2nd and 3rd games, they have In terms of character design, enemy type designs and stuff like that, there's a lot of them compared to this game where it's just mostly like the Norks and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like this game, it had to be more creative with its enemy types because they all essentially had to be Norks. In the second and third games, though, they had the Rhinox and the Riptox, or whatever you want to call them, and those had a particular design and stuff. But in this game, they had to be stationary to just Norks, and I think it's more fun that way. We get this last gem here and get this dragon. It's all pre-recorded, so I can't remember when I did it.
You've done well, Spyro. Some dragons thought you weren't ready, but I knew they were wrong.
I'm ready, all right. Ready for what?
What are you ready for, Spyro? What are you ready for? I'm telling you, the line delivery in this game with Spyro and just the dragons in general is so good. I forgot the name of the first Spyro voice actor. His name was Carlos something. He had a complicated last name, but he did a great job. He captured Spyro's kiddish, sarcastic attitude, and it's portrayed so good in this game, and it's the best. Those extra lives up there you can only get at the beginning of the level by jumping and gliding to them from the very start, so unless you got them at the beginning, you can't get them again. So to get them, you'd have to basically restart the level in that point. 400 out of 400 gems.
Thank you for releasing me.
Alright, and that's it. We got 400 out of 400. We got 5 out of 5 dragons. Let's get out of here. Like I said before, I did that level in possibly the fastest route to do it. It's either you do all the multiple pathways that they are available to you from the get-go, or you save them for later and backtrack upwards so that you can minimalize, it's a hard word, the backtracking and stuff. So that's why I did it the way I did, and hopefully that helps you guys when you're doing playthroughs of this game. Now we're going into Night Flight, which is the flight level for Peacekeepers. This Night Flight level in particular is... This Night Flight level? There's more? This flight level in particular is quite easy. You start with the rings, you get the chests, and they're in such a way that you really can't miss them. You just go straight forward, and that's it. The one thing I will say about this level is that the chests are in a way that's positioned, like some are further up and then further down, like these few here. And if you're not already accustomed to the flight controls in these games, then that might be very difficult for you to do. But in my opinion, the flight controls in the first 3 games are some of the best in any video game I've ever played. They're just so good. And it really sucks that the Reignited trilogy really bombed when it came to the flight controls. They're just nowhere near as good. If you try to do what I did there by going to the top chest and then going to the bottom chest and Reignited, forget it, man. It's a whole mess. So I think the way they tweaked the flight physics in Reignited was that they made it kind of like a paraglider. I don't know if you guys have ever played Mario Party 7, but there's a minigame in there that basically has paragliding, and they have paragliding physics, and if you press down and you try to go back up, you basically drift downward, and you don't go back up immediately. In these games, however, that's not the case. There is no paragliding physics. It's just you press down to go up, press up to go down, how it should be in flight physics in my opinion. But yeah, the flight controls in this game are beautiful, and that's why I love the flight levels in all these games, because the controls are just so good. Now that we got that out of the way, we're in Dr. Shem, the boss level for Peacekeepers, and we have some big mom enemies that were in Cliff Town. I don't believe they were in Dry Canyon, can't remember right now. But the difference here is that they throw these metal guys at you, and they can be hard to spot because they run pretty darn quick, if I'm being honest, and if you're not looking right, they'll just hit you. There's actually a funny part coming up here that I'm kind of glad I got on recording. It's never actually happened to me before, but basically the mom enemies, they slap you, and it doesn't count for damage, but it throws you in a weird direction like so. So I got hit here, I got slapped again, and huge mess. I don't think I've ever gotten hit that many times there. Though to be honest though, guys, kind of a spoiler warning, this is probably the worst I've ever... This is probably the worst run of this level I've ever done. Like, it's so bad. It's really awful. And you'll probably see more of it as time goes on. Like, for example, I already got hit. I never get hit in these boss levels. It's rare the occasion that I get hit in these games at all, if anything. And that's not just to toot my own horn or anything, but it's... Yeah, this run through of this level was really bad, but... I love the skybox of this level. There's like a huge moon in the background. I don't even know if it's a moon. It looks like a sun, maybe. It's covered by these dark clouds. And skyboxes in this game is part of what makes these games so iconic, and I'm glad that they did a good job with that in the Reignited trilogy.
This guy thinks he's so cool. You don't know what it's been like listening to him over and over. But I'll tell you one thing. He should watch his back.
I love the way that the dragons introduce the hints in this game in terms of like what you need to do. It's just so good. It flows really well, for the most part anyway. So here's Dr. Shem. Like I said, worst run through I've ever done in this level. I don't know why I fell off there. Like, never in my life that's ever happened to me, so... First thing he does is run at you and try to whack you. All you have to do is just charge out of the way and wait for him to go back to the position he started at, and just flame his back. No matter how many times I play this game, this second part always catches me off guard, because I think this move that he does here is the third one he does, which it isn't, so I sometimes tend to get hit there, but not this time. So even though it is the worst run through I've done in this level, I didn't get hit there, so that's good. And that last one, he just swings below, you jump over it, and you hit his back. Very easy. Honestly, all the bosses in this game are super easy. There's no challenge to them at all, so... See, look at that. I missed a chest. How did I miss a chest, man? Come on. What am I doing? But yeah, we got the key earlier in the level. We just open it here, and it only contains 125 gem, which is strange. Check this out. Check this collision detection. So bad. Actually, that part right there in particular has happened to me on occasion. And even on my best days that I'm playing this game, I still hit that collision, and it just messes me up, and it ruins my flow. And then I'm like, man, so much for a no-death run of this game, which I think I've yet to do. So, unfortunately, the first time I'll do a no-death run of this game won't be this Let's Play, so... but yeah, just to avoid that, just drop down a little bit and then glide. The only problem I have with doing that, though, is that sometimes I might drop down too much, and then when I press X again, it doesn't register my input, and I might die, but... We did it! We got all the gems, and usually what I like to do is I like to go back to where the exit is, but not in this case, because the exit's way too far off, so I'm just going to hit exit level, and go back to Peacekeepers. And that's it, guys. We got 3,000 gems in our pocket. We're finished. We're done with Peacekeepers. And it's time for us to enter the next world of this game, which is Magic Crafters. But yeah, guys, super sorry for the 2-year wait. For the two of you that were waiting for me to continue this Let's Play anyway. Lots of stuff happens in life, and you just gotta go with it. But right now I have a new PC. It's custom built. It's a GTX 1660 Gaming X GPU with an what was it called? Intel Core i5 9600K processor, and it plays pretty much everything, anything I want, and that's how I'm able to record this game. Got to re-record all the footage because, for obvious reasons, I've lost the footage long ago, but we're back at it. So hope you guys enjoyed that part. Hope you guys enjoyed me coming back. 3,000 subscribers, hype! And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.